Hey everybody, welcome to Rahdo Runs. We're always trying to bring you the best the board game industry has to offer. And for the second week of July, we've got some very, very big stuff for you. Starting with some exclusives that are available for backers of the show, either here on YouTube as members or over at patreon.com. You can hit that eye in the top right corner of the screen if you want to know more. But what are these exclusives? I'm glad you asked. I just made them live this morning. They are my July 2023 release. Me and my wife, Jen, and there's a brief guest appearance by Daisy there, playing a full game from start to finish of Agricola Revised Edition with the Corbarius expansion, and then on top of that, like about a half an hour of chit-chat Q&A with the live stream audience. We had a fun time doing this back in 2020 when we first filmed this, and now I am making it available for anybody who supports the show at any level. Thank you, everybody, for helping keeping Rahdo running, but that's not all. We've also got the July Vault. Now, this is an epic 6-hour-long video, which includes about 90 minutes of me doing a 10-year retrospective going over all the highlights and lowlights of my first 10 years of running the channel, and then the rest of it is a lot of chit-chat with Ruel, doing feedback and commentary on all the big moments I've had. Also, there was a live stream audience. They've got a lot to say about all my big moments. What are my fans' biggest moments as far as they're concerned? Plus, there's a bunch of other stuff, talking about pop culture, doing some game reviews. This will keep you going for a long time, 6 hours, but don't worry, I know that's a lot, but I've put in timestamps so you can jump around to any section you want, and hopefully that'll keep you busy for a while, folks. And again, thank you so much for supporting the show. But what does everybody get to see this week? Oh, some good stuff, folks, starting with my run-through of My Island, the latest legacy tile-laying game from Reiner Knizia. This is the sequel to My City, and I will demonstrate, while trying to avoid spoilers as best as possible, how does My Island stand out from My City, and why don't I like it as much as I liked My City? There's definitely going to be some hot takes in this particular video. Also, this week, we're going to have a run-through of Luddite, which is a new cyberpunk futuristic roll and write that's interesting because it has a narrative campaign that is driven by some very, very cool comic book tie-in stuff. Which is to say, when you get this game, you get a graphic novel that leads you through an epic story so you can play your roll and write action. We'll see that this week. Also, we are going to have Wizards & Co. Amy and Maggie will be showing off this very, very cool card game, and I cannot wait for you folks to see it. So, that's not all, though. We're going to have the next episode of the R&R show. Ruel Gaviola, Chris George, and I will be giving you a new countdown. And we haven't finalized yet, but I believe this week is going to be our top 15 combined travel games. Because, of course, Chris is traveling on the road. He's a professional actor, don't you know? And I'm sure he'll be giving us new and wildly entertaining stories about life on the road as we tell you our favorite games to pack up in a knapsack and travel with. So that should be coming this week. Oh, also, folks, 6 months ago, I did my preliminary top 10 games of 2022. It's halfway through the year. I've played the rest of the 2022 games that I want to play. And so this week, I will be able to do my final list of the best games of 2022. 2 games have been kicked out from before. 2 games have clawed their way into the best of 2022, and I will do a quick rundown of it this week so you know what really stood out to me. The absolute best of the best, and oh my gosh, 2022 was a great year. Okay, folks, so that's what's coming this week, and now we've looked forward, let's spend a little bit of time looking back. I am going to remind you what you missed from last week. And last week, in last coming soon, I tried to do this in a 20-second thing, and that was so stressful. That took me like 5 or 6 tries to do. I am not going to time compress it, but I do still think it's worthwhile because there's going to be links for all of these videos down in the show notes in case you missed them the first time around. So, what did we get up to last week? I I had such a fantastic time in Paul Groban's Gaming Rules board game quiz show. Oh my gosh, it was so good. You can still watch this, and you can play along at home. You can try to answer questions and see if you beat me and Paul and Vito Lasarda and a bunch of other board game media folks as well. It was so much fun. I'm so glad I did it, and it's still available for you to watch now and see if you can beat my score. I challenge you. I did pretty well, I gotta say. Okay, Kimberly did a run-through of The Witcher Old World, which everybody seems to be loving, and Kimberly shows why. What else did we have? Oh, I did a run-through for Everdell Far Shore, and I think it's fantastic. As far as I'm concerned, it's better than the original Everdell. I did not keep the original Everdell, but I am going to be keeping this, and I will show you why. And as a bonus, in the final thoughts, I put on screen every single new card in this game. So if you're a real diehard Everdell fan, you can see exactly what you're getting. I don't think you can get that anywhere else. Okay, let's see. Oh, and then Amy and Maggie did a run-through of Wandering Towers, which honestly, I think was robbed. This should totally be nominated, if not winning, the Spiel des Jahres for this year. I think it was up for consideration, and it's the latest from Kramer and Kiesling, and Amy and Maggie will show you why it is so great. Oh, and then Grant was back. I didn't know. I thought he was going to be off for another month, but Grant was back doing another Grant's Greatest Games, and this was a particularly good one. His number 2 on this list, I hadn't even heard of, and now it is a must-have for me. And if you're like me, it'll probably be a must-have for you too, and you wouldn't have heard about it if not for Grant. So Grant's back telling you his 5 greatest games that he played while he was on the road, I guess. And then finally, last week, I tried an experiment doing a personal Q&A, and it turns out, boy, people did not like that at all. The first 3 episodes of the new Q&A show were all about games and the channel and whatnot, and people were loving it. For episode 4 was me talking about AI and our favorite albums and, Taoism and all kinds of non-game related stuff, and people hated it. So I've actually taken the video down, but there's still a link for it down in the show notes if you want to check it out and see why everybody was so against it. But yeah, hey, sometimes we experiment and it works, sometimes it doesn't. So you won't be seeing personal Q&As in the future. You can still catch that in the regular podcast. So that was last week. And folks, we now have 20 seconds left for you to subscribe and click on the other stuff while I go about setting up for the next game I've got to film. It's a never-ending cavalcade of games here at Rahdo Runs Through, and this is going to be coming up in a future week, but I gotta start working on it now. Oh my goodness. Have you clicked on a thing yet, folks? Because I'm not doing anything else. I'm just setting up a board. This is going to end at any second, and we're not going to get very far into it, but oh my gosh, this is gigantic. There's no way this is going to fit on camera. That's going to be a challenge. Right. Have you clicked yet?